It's time to welcome our first live interview of the morning. A Greensboro local just released her first book. It is titled Tell It to Me Singing.
And she's going to be discussing it at Bookmarks in Winston-Salem today. The bookstore is also featuring her and their Latina book club this month.
Yeah, let's meet Tita Ramirez now. Good morning and thanks for being with us today.
Good morning, guys. Good to see you.
Well, lots of books there behind you, so probably a great person to be speaking to in general about this topic. But can you talk about your book, Tell It to Me Singing?
Yeah. Tell It to Me Singing is my debut novel. It is about a mother and daughter who live in Miami. They're Cuban American. And the main character is the daughter. Her name's Monica. She is pregnant with her first child. Just as her mom is being wheeled into emergency surgery, her mom drops a bomb on her and says, "The man you thought was your father is not your real father." And Monica is left shocked and bewildered and just not knowing what to think or believe. She sort of tries to tell herself, maybe that was just the pre-op drugs, and maybe she's just kind of mixing up reality with her telenovela that she loves to watch. And chaos ensues from there. The complicating factor for Monica is that she is not quite sure what she wants out of her life to begin with. She's engaged to be married to her baby's dad and still struggling with a commitment to her ex-boyfriend. And that plays into the plot in a pretty heavy way as she tries to figure out exactly what's going on with her mom's health, the family. It kind of goes from there.
Wow.
Sounds just like a Modern Family, actually.
And what inspired you to write this book? I mean, was this based on personal experiences or friends' experiences or what?
A little bit of both and imagination. It actually started as a short story that I wrote many years ago and I couldn't stop thinking about. I published the story and thought I was done and tried to move on to another project and found that I could not stop thinking about Monica. And then could not stop thinking about her mom, who's a really interesting character who kind of grew in my head. And I decided to borrow something out of my real life, which is that when I was in my early 20s, my mom confessed a secret to me, which was simply that she had been married to someone before she was married to my father. It was a short relationship that, just kind of one of those things that should never have really gone much further than it did. But she had kept it from me for for 20 years of my life. And I thought, that impacted me in a way that was pretty significant. I wonder what something stronger than that, more interesting than that, more devastating than that would feel like to someone. And I just kind of let my imagination go from there. Next thing you know, I've got this mom who is a very strong, interesting character, who just decides to tell her daughter, in this moment of fear, this secret that she's held for over 20 something years. Monica's 29. And it rolled from there.
Well, it sounds like a fascinating story. Thank you for sharing that with us. Can you talk about some of the details of today's event?
Yeah. So Bookmarks in Winston-Salem, the beautiful bookstore in Winston-Salem, has a Latina book club who has chosen Tell It to Me Singing as their August pick. And they are going to be hosting me tonight at 6 p.m. in the store. We're going to chat. We'll laugh, we'll cry. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But the interesting thing is that the event is open to the public. So if there's anybody around who wants to stop in, please, by all means, do. If you haven't read the book, we'll try to keep the spoilers to a minimum. And if you have read the book, please come on in and we can chat about it. I love to talk to book clubs. I've been trying to tell everyone I know, if you have a book club and you're interested in adopting the book and you'd like me to visit, I'm happy to visit. I'm a teacher. I teach out at Elon University. I've been there for 20 years. I love to chat with other smart people about books. And I'm not shy, obviously. So if anybody out there has a book club that they'd like me to visit, whether it be, IRL, here around the Triad, or, even via Zoom. If you've got friends and family who have book clubs all over, I'm happy to jump on a Zoom and talk to people because I think it's fun, actually.
And
So I'm
it's-
excited about tonight.
I'm sure,
Yeah.
and I think it's really cool to hear it from the reader's perspective too, of talking about those characters, even just from this short conversation, to hear you talk through the process of they kind of run away and even thinking about them. I love hearing about the author's process.
cool.
So everyone go on out tonight. Thank you so much for your time this morning, and congratulations on this debut book for you. You can continue this discussion, pick up that copy of the book today at Bookmarks in Winston-Salem.